of they're missing players like BLV Gari, which you might know them from previous tournaments, and Dadots.
Bit of an unfortunate thing for Philippines, though. They really had the potential to be a top-seeded team. They didn't quite make it due to the two-player roster. But hopefully they will perform well anyway. Let's see who gets against Macau now. On the next group, it's gonna be France. Having a hard time for Macau on the group stage. France is a very, very strong team with Elementaires, Antoa, Sisao, and Scorer. Very, very strong team overall. Very accurate oriented as well. Elementaires is very accurate. Antoa is very good in pretty much every single aspect. Very, very good team overall. Sisao and Scorer providing some back, especially for Longnose, for Scorer and Sisao overall if needed. They are pretty burst when it comes to like BMS style charting. So they should do well on the tournament. I think they had a decent group so far. If they don't get a very hard top seed, they might even make it on the first seed of the group. I definitely see that one taking place.
I just remembered that we should probably be explaining these terms that we're using to the people who aren't as familiar with Mania. Earlier I said LN maps, that's long note maps, of course. Maps with a lot of long notes. I guess that kind of explains itself. BMS is another game, another 7K game, actually 8K, but it's mainly known in Osu because its style revolves entirely around single notes. That means a lot of complicated patterns of single notes, but not as much long notes or chord-based structures. I mean, we'll see more of that in the map pools.
Definitely, and this is the chance. Poland versus Indonesia. Is the dream gonna happen? Oh, yes, it did!
Oh my gosh!
I cannot believe it! Indonesia versus Poland. We called it. I called it. And
you did
love it.
History repeats itself.
Yes, it does. Poland versus Reverse Poland on the group. We have it again with Race, Project One, Lino Sama, and Rizal Pramana. And I hope you can say something about Indonesia because I'm kind of losing it right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, Indonesia. They were high-seeded last year. Historically, a very strong team. I guess they dropped a little from this year. But, yeah, it's because most of their team has been swapped out. Race is the only one who's returning from last year. I'd say that they're stronger on the LNs, on the long notes. Other than that, about a mid-tier.
I'm excited for that match. 100% excited for it. Best match of the group stage already decided. We're gonna see who ends up against Argentina. It's gonna be Switzerland. Okay, that's an interesting group because Argentina is quite strong when it comes to accuracy, and Switzerland is very, very strong when it comes to long notes. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup between those two, with Akairo and Gamer97 the only players from Switzerland. But I said they are gonna be dangerous on groups, mostly because of their good overall performance when it comes to long notes. So if they do well on that, Argentina will have to rely so much on their accuracy, and it will be such an amazing match between accuracy and long note maps being traded over and over again. So I'm really looking forward for that group too.
This might be a group where we can see a tiebreaker coming up because they have such, different areas of strength. But we'll see. And of course, last group we have Australia, with the players Kite, Evios, San Kansurki, and Potassium F. They're on the lower side of mid-team, definitely, just 2 spots above the cutoff. Evios and Kites, probably their main players, are definitely good, but they're definitely banking on San Kansurki to perform well. You have anything on that, Juan?
Yeah, Australia is actually a team that we discussed about when it comes to seeding, but definitely San Kansurki will have to play his best if he wants to actually justify the season that Australia got here. Against Sweden, they might have a tough time, but hopefully they can pull it off. And here we have the top seed. It's
all right, everyone's favorite, of course.
Everyone's favorite, that's for sure. And we see Group A, Russia and Japan. It's already a very tricky group. Who's gonna get it? This could be very well the hardest group of the tournament, and it's United States.
Oh wow!
Boy. That's a
Yeah.
hard group for the United States.
United States with Stupid Man, Tegom, Dueru, and Squishy. Their mains are Stupid Man and Squishy. They're definitely been, historically very strong players in the U.S. Like, I'm from the U.S., of course, so I'm a little more familiar with them than with the other teams. But, yeah, they're missing definitely a couple of the higher U.S. players that we've had in previous teams, which is, so their position in top seed is, not totally solid. And so it's definitely got to be a strong competition in Group A.
Definitely will. Russia, United States, and Japan on Group A.
Oh.
Very, very complicated group over there. And here we have Norway and Canada. Who's gonna be it? It's gonna be Brazil. Okay. Brazil, the first South American top seed already selected here, with Lazarento leading, Keweft, Urso Manso, and Lotus. Surprisingly, very strong team, besides the fact that Urso and Lotus are well known for their 4 key skills instead. Very, very strong. Despite the loss of their top player, CD Fanger, this year, they are looking very, very decent. And against Canada, they will struggle probably. Canada is a very strong team as well. And against Norway, they will have to play very well as well, because they cannot afford to drop any single map. If they lose one match, it's looking very complicated for them. But the group, it's fairly alright. Brazil should do fine on it. We'll see.
I gotta mention for Brazil, it was kind of a heartbreak last year. They were also top seed last year, their first year being top seed. But then in the group stages, they were edged out, and they did not get into the double elimination tournament. So I guess good luck to them this year. Hopefully we see a better performance.
Hopefully we will.
Definitely an accuracy team, but also with enough high-level skill to get into top seed. They are the lowest team in top seed. But that's not to discredit them. Who are they up against? Against Philippines. And, actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong... group. But
Thailand and Germany.
Yeah. Thailand and Germany.
Well, Singapore should do fine. They have very strong accuracies. They were probably one of the best top seeds for group stage anyways. So Thailand will have to fight their way with Germany, see who gets that spot on the bracket stage. But now UK and Philippines, also a very complicated group. Let's see which top seed gets it, and it will be Italy. Oh my goodness, Italy has a difficult time here.
Yeah, they're up against pretty much the highest team in mid seed and one of the highest in low seed.
Yes, it is, and with Jomiel, Happy Overjoy, and Radius, they will have a complicated time. I think they will still make it, but it won't be as straightforward as they will have hoped for, I think, considering how higher they are on the seeds. But again, they have to fight their way out somehow with Philippines. On probably the stronger stage for them. It's definitely on a hard spot here. France and South Korea are very, very deadly teams. Poland and Indonesia fighting their way out somehow, with Malaysia on top. Malaysia likely to go through without many complications. They are a very strong team overall. But again, Poland and Reverse Poland memes might be so strong that they might actually both make it out. Who knows?
Maybe. And their roster is Cryolian, My Idiot, Z1, and Chiwi 10. And I just want to give some context here. We're talking about getting out of group stages. Since the groups are 3 each, two teams are going to get into the double elimination stage, and one team is going to be eliminated in group stage. So it's all the matter of not being the last in your group.
Yep, and now let's see. It's gonna be China, Switzerland, and Argentina. Pretty interesting group as well here. I think Argentina has very low chance to going out with this drawing, but
unfortunately,
hopefully they can somehow put it out. But China, definitely a strong team. Might struggle a little bit against Switzerland because how strong Switzerland is overall on the lens. But we will have to see. It's gonna be an interesting match. I would like to see Switzerland and China. See how it goes out. And of course, Chile on the last side. Of course, the lineup for China with, I forgot to mention, Sang Fang, Wilver Chan, Crazy Satori, and QX0407. 3 players on the top 50, definitely a very strong team.
Right, and for our last group, we have Chile, the other Latin American team in top seed. They only have 2 players, Gollum and Gonzalo, the only team in top seed with only 2 players. And that might come back to bite them, but their 2 players are very strong, and they come from a more BMS background. This is their first year in top seed. What else is there to say?
Well, there's not much else to be said here. Chile definitely looking strong. Though with only 2 players, as you mentioned, Scalim and Gonzalo are very strong, but they will have to fight against the lack of a third player. Only 2 of them might be a bit tricky to pull it out. Probably when stamina starts to kick in.
Of course. And just to be clear, the difficulty often comes with scheduling. If there's no time that your 2 players can make it on a weekend, then it's not good for you. And additionally, it means they can't substitute players